Hi, everyone. My name is Anita Ladhani. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and an energy practitioner. And in my private practice, I utilize different energy modalities, which include EFT, emotional freedom technique, tapping, better known as tapping, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, theta healing, hypnotherapy, and Reiki, among others. So I want to talk to you about this amazing book that came my way probably about 10 years ago. It's called The Five Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. And it's important to discuss this book specifically because it creates a format to discuss relationships. Right now, when we talk about relationships, it doesn't have to be romantic. It just could be relationships between a parent and a child. It could be relationship between friends. It can be relationships between co-workers. It doesn't matter, right? Neighbors. But it's important to understand this concept that Gary Chapman discusses. Now, Dr. Gary Chapman is a psychologist who, after years and years of private practice and working with couples, he realized that there was a common thread, and he identified these five love languages, which ended up causing a lot of conflict in relationships. And so what the five love languages are, so let's just start there. The first language is words of affirmation. The second is quality time. Third is receiving gifts. Fourth is act of service. And fifth is physical touch. So let me explain what those are a little bit more. Now, of course, I always encourage you to read the book because there's nothing like actually reading the book and going through it. But, here's a little, what's the cheat sheet sort of on what the book is about. So hopefully after watching this, you'll be more inclined and more encouraged to go find out more about it for yourself. So the first love language is words of affirmation. And that's basically where people whose primary language is words of affirmation actually really enjoy, they need to be validated. They need to be complimented. They need to be told, express their feelings, so they need to hear, I love you, I care about you, you're important to me. So they need words of affirmation. The second love language is quality time. So people whose love language is quality time, they need to actually spend time with you. For them, you can tell them you love them. You can tell them they're important to you. But if you don't actually spend time with them, undivided sort of one-on-one time with them, they're not going to feel loved and appreciated. The third love language is receiving gifts. So for someone whose love language is receiving gifts, it's not about them being materialistic. It's about them feeling like you cared enough and you thought about enough to get them a gift. And so it's the thought that you put behind getting them a gift. Now, it could be something simple, but it's the fact that you thought about it and you gave them a gift, which is what is important to them. And also, they tend to be someone who give gifts as a way of expressing their love. The fourth is act of service. And for them, they do things for you to show you that they care about you. So, for example, a husband who will make sure, the oil is changed, the tires rotated, they take the garbage out, or a wife whose primary language is act of service, she'll make sure she's cooking for the husband. She'll make sure she's, getting his clothes ready or doing laundry or whatever, what have you. It's act of service. Now, the last one is physical touch, and that's about, hugging, holding hands, kissing, and more. So where does conflict come in? Conflict comes in because people speak different love languages. So for someone, for example, I'll use me as an example, right? So for me, spending quality time is really important, and so is, physical touch and acts of service. I'm not a big receiving gifts. I don't even accept gifts from most people. And again, words of affirmation don't mean anything to me because actions speak louder than words. So I'm smiling because I'm reading some of the comments, which I will respond to in the end. But so for me, I keep running into, I go out on these dates, and immediately the men tend to be, for them, the primary language for them is receiving gifts. So then they come to the first date with, I wish there was flowers, but God bless this guy. He came with like a lip gloss and a lipstick, or jewelry or whatever, like very sweet, but completely have lost me from the get-go, because I don't even accept gifts. I don't like gifts. To me, it's a karmic debt. I'm the weirdo, weird woman that doesn't do that. But I'm all about, spending quality time, getting to know you, let's enjoy each other's company. Let's talk. And again, they're not there. So then there's a disconnect there. It's important to, if you go online and you put in 5 love languages, yes, lip gloss. And the best thing is, so here, I'll do my little, the video was originally going to be on gift giving, but I'll go ahead and talk about it. This kind of came up. I always pray and meditate before I do any live feed. I just want to make sure I'm connected, I'm grounded, and I'm speaking God's truth of whatever this is, because I understand people watch it and people receive it where they are, and I just want to make sure I'm doing, the best I can in terms of presenting whatever I'm presenting. So what came up for me in my meditation was, talk about 5 love languages and incorporate gift giving in there, or maybe do a different topic. But here goes. So I want to talk about, and I'm again deviating from the subject here, but still I think it's significant, important enough for me to share. This whole thing of gift giving and gift receiving. So if your language is gift giving, this was again, and it's not, to say that everyone does it, but when you give someone a gift, what is the intention? Again, with anything you do, what is the intention behind giving the person a gift? Okay, so the intention, I'll assume the highest and best intention of this person was to, give me a gift that would make me happy, that would make me like them more, that would make me maybe, help create a attitude or atmosphere of goodwill, what have you. Well, great. And that's what it was for this person. Very genuine, just wanted to bring something, didn't want to come empty-handed on the first date. Fine. But then there's a concept of gift wrapping, guys. And I think it must be a men thing, God bless them, because I've had several men now literally will show up and will just hand me the gift in my hand. Like the man came with a lip gloss and a lipstick and just said, well, I went and I picked this up for you, and I didn't know what your shade was, but here it is. And of course I didn't see what it was, and then he handed it to me, and I'm going, what? Like, what is this? And then I realized that, God bless him, he really genuinely, wanted to bring me something, and he said, I should have brought you a candle, I should have, and I'm thinking flowers usually are a safe bet, right? But the point is, when you're getting someone a gift, wrap it up or put it in a pretty bag. Needless to say, not just for that, but for other reasons, that was the first and last date. And, I wished him well and we'll continue to be friends. And trust me, he's more than over me. But I had someone else, give me a Mother's Day gift, and really nice pieces of jewelry, meaningful, but again, just handed me the chains and with the lockets in my hand. And I'm going, what is this? It's Mother's Day. You're buying me a gift, and put it in a bag, put it in something like gift wrapping, not a foreign concept, right? But I'm being petty. I know that, but that's one of my pet peeves. But the other thing I really want to talk about that's a little more important besides the gift wrapping is when we give someone a gift, then give the gift, and then it's none of your business what people do with the gift, right? So if I'm giving you a gift, what you do with it is yours, right? it shouldn't, it shouldn't bother me if they take that gift and regift it, or they never use it, or they, you know, actually use it but give it to somebody else, or whatever the case might be. Because, we should not be attached to what people do with our gifts, because again, once I give it to you, it's done. Then I'm not concerned with it. I shouldn't be worried about what you do with it, because the intention was to just give you the gift, correct? And I'm always sort of, surprised, with either some of the gifts that I've given, and people have come and said, I'm so sorry, I gave it to somebody else. And, and I'm like, doesn't matter. Like, God bless you. I mean, that's fine. Why does it, I have nothing to do with what you do with my gift, because the minute I gave you the gift, it was done. My intention and purpose was to give you the gift, period, as an expression of my love and my friendship and my whatever to you. And then I've had, friends who've given me gifts, which I have passed on to other people. And not because it wasn't important to me, but in this case, it was because it was such a special gift that, this person complimented it, and I just gave it to them, because why not? If this brings them, there's joy. Like, again, I'm the weirdo that's not attached to many material things. So I try not to be, although I am, absolutely, right? But if I have something and somebody will compliment me, depends on what it is and whatnot, I'm usually happy to share and give it to them. But yeah, don't get ideas. Don't ask me for my car. Don't ask me for my, it's, I have boundaries, and I have, I'm not gullible, right? But the point is, but my friend who then found out that I had gifted, I'd passed on her gift, was kind of taken back and was almost hurt by it. And I was like, hurt by it? Like, you should feel honored, and, you should feel, you shouldn't even care, first of all, right? But again, so it just made me think, because it bothered her, it then is something I was upset about, because I don't want my friend to be upset or to be hurt, because I care about her feelings, and I care about, what she thinks and what she feels. And I don't want her to think that I dismissed her gift, or I don't know, didn't care. If that couldn't be further from the truth. It's actually because I cared, not because I appreciated it, that, I'm giving someone else that was more than deserving of something that was very valuable to me, because it came from her. But again, something on a side note about receiving gifts. But going back to the 5 love languages, I think it's important to identify what are love languages. What is your primary and secondary love language? Now, usually we'll have one primary one, if not 2 primary ones. I know, and again, with age and time, sometimes these change. Sometimes they don't, because people don't change. So it really depends on your maturity level. I know that for me, like I said, it used to be words of affirmation when I was younger, but not anymore. Now it's quality time and physical touch and possibly acts of service. But it's important to identify that for yourself, so that, when you have a friend, or when you're in a relationship, or you have people that you interact with, if you're clear about what your love languages are, then you can also determine what are the love languages of my partner, my wife, my husband, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my daughter, my children, my coworkers, my teammates, whatever the case might be. And then you can match and reciprocate and express the love that you have, your affection, your feelings, whatever, through a love language that they understand and appreciate, which then makes them feel heard, makes them feel loved and wanted. And at some point, again, have a discussion and, spread awareness of this, so that you are communicating and figuring out, hey, listen, just because, yours is receiving gifts, I'm happy to do that for you, but mine is not. So, you don't have to give me gifts, but it would be great if you actually spend time with me, right? But then you're able to communicate and share and express your needs. which makes a much healthier and happier relationship. So I hope that was helpful. Let me quickly scroll through the messages. Whoops, and there you go. Let me go back. All right, guys, thank you for jumping in. Yes, Alicia, love languages, of course, from a fellow therapist. Yeah, they have love languages, just like the chicken soup for the Soul series. There's love languages, I think, for teenagers as well. I think that's what you're saying. There's different. Lauren says, I wish you made meditation tapes. I could listen to this all night. You're so sweet, Lauren. Something I'm thinking about doing, and it's funny because I've led meditations in person. I've definitely, done it in a session. I've considered it. It kind of crossed my mind this weekend, but I don't know if I completely have the confidence of doing something online, I guess. I don't know. I thought about doing like a live meditation feed, but I don't know. Maybe we can talk about this in person and figure that out. Alicia, you and I are similar. Okay, let's see what else we have. Lauren, you're so funny. All right, so let's see. Alicia says, my view is that those who give gifts, of course not always, but I feel it's more a societal condition. I give you a gift, you automatically should feel like you are appreciated. Fortunately, with everyone learning themselves and really learning about love languages, I feel we may be embarking on a new age of quality time and acts of service, hopefully replacing material things. Again, not for everyone, but something amazing I continue to see happening, which is amazing. True, true, true. And she continues, I think it's a true testament of appreciation when you re-gift items. It may not serve a purpose for you, but it will be for somebody else. True. And in my specific case, I wasn't re-gifting it because I wasn't using it. It was actually a ring that I had on that's, a very, very dear friend of mine noticed it on one of the videos. And then when she saw me in person, she couldn't, stop gushing about it. So I just gave it to her. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. And as always, love and light. Take care. God bless.